All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And listen, I just got to first off by saying, man, it's such an honor, Shane, in this lifetime to be friends with you. And the bond we have made over these past year and a half since we met is way more important than the podcast or anything, bro. You, my friend, man, you bring this certain aura and energy that's unique that nobody else brings. It's just like riding styles. Everybody's got their unique little piece of the puzzle is what I call it that they bring to the track that you do well that others don't, right? And then vice versa. And everybody brings their own, man, this aura and energy, but yours is quite unique, my friend. It's always an honor to be in your presence, even if it's for that brief 2-3 little minutes, right? But yeah, welcome back, Shane.
I appreciate it. Thank you again for having me.
Oh man, listen,
it's been about a year and a half now, and it's good to be back on board and have a chat to you. And you're a legend in your own right as well. And it's just it's a blessing, to be able to actually see you at a few of the races this year. And it's even though that I might only get to see you for like that 2 minutes because I'm running around, taking the tires to the Dunlop or working on the bike. It's that split second, it's you're part of the family, man. So I appreciate it.
Dude, listen, the honor is absolutely all mine, for sure. And yes, you're right. It's been too long, but we are here now. So stay on with me after this because we're going to go ahead and schedule our next journey together. But Shane, you're right. Year and a half, man, your first journey, we talked about you coming from Australia to the US, getting into racing here, formerly a badass out there, right? But you brought it here, and the success you've had, and the team you got around you, and the family. You said the word right, the family that is around you at the track that loves you and supports you, as do I, many other people around the world, right? Man, you got so much going for you, and you, my friend, are super, super talented, 110%. I'm always amazed and awe when I'm live at the track and I watch Shane do his thing.
That's that really, means a lot. I try my best. It's always been about trying to be 1% better every day. And I would love to have that, 100% talent on the, and be better and faster on the racetrack. But I can only do what, God has given me the blessing in my hands and the work in my hands to be able to actually do. So it's just, I try my best every day. And if I fail, none of us are perfect. We stumble across the line, or sometimes we don't even finish the race and stuff. But at the end of the day, we just got to pick ourselves back up and dust ourselves off and try and be better the next time. So, yeah.
100%. I say this a lot. It never made sense till I had my kid. My mom used to say it takes a village to raise a kid, right? One child. And same thing with a racer. It takes a village to raise a racer. Yes, when you're out there on the bike and that visor goes down, it's just you and the machine, right? And everybody else. But to get to that point, it's the team around you. It's that village that helps you get from point A to point B, and the work and everything that goes into it. So, man, let's take it back. Halfway season of 2024, because I'm pretty sure that's when we started it off. So run us through your 2024 season, and we'll get into the 2025 and all good things in between.
We had a pretty amazing 2024, we started off and kicked it off at Daytona 200. That was the very first time we entered the race, and being from the sort of like the endurance team, motor drone racing and stuff, we formulated the team to take it down to Daytona. And as I think we spoke, a week after the very first Daytona, I think I got 20th or something, or 21st. It was, and then it just progressed from there. I entered Barber, entered Atlanta. And then I did Mid-Ohio for the Moto America, just to sort of get my feet wet. But then, I raced Wira in the C Superbike class, and ran mostly, I think maybe 9 to 10 races for that series. And it was a massive year, to just get our foot or our feet wet in the Moto America series, but also to go back to local and club racing, with that experience. It helped, me and my team to, we rounded up with 4 national championships, in the C Superbike and C Super Stock. And 600 Superbike and 600 Superstock. So it was, look, it doesn't accolade quite well when you look at the finishes in the Moto America series, because the Super Sport series is just jacked full of amazing quality riders and stuff. But to go back and like I used to be that young guy seeing the guys come back from Moto America and they're just dominating the the local club race events and stuff, and you're like, wow, how do I get better? How do I and having them on the track. And I was that that guy for that the within Weira last year and stuff, that we were I was challenged against some quality riders, like Riston Grigg. Me and him were going back and forth, and we had Ryder Davis coming up, and he was only I think 14 or 15 at the time and stuff, and I'm like, wow, where's this kid coming from? So it was just stepping stones for other people coming up through the ranks, and this it was a huge blessing to to finish off the season and having those 4 national championships under my belt. That just helped progress into setting ourselves up for this year. And at the end of the season, we sat down as a team and we're like, what are we going to do? And we're like, let's go for it. Let's do the full Moto America season, and that kicked off with the 2025 Daytona 200, and then it's just sort of like has progressed from there. There's been a lot of ups and downs. We had to I went out to Chuckwalla at the end of last year to test ride Dave Anthony's bike, the GSXR 750, because I was contemplating on going to that platform for this year. But Dave said to me a couple of months ago, he goes, you didn't give it a good chance, especially being at a track like Chuckwalla. It's a difficult track to learn, let alone learn a new bike. And but after that weekend, I was like, no, we've got an R6. We got our toes wet with the R6 last year. Let's develop that. Let's build that, and let's make it up to Moto America spec. So yeah, we put all our efforts into that. We had the big team, like our team, working, pulling the bike apart, buying all these parts from 10K over in Europe and stuff, and having Shiloh Salopek and Emerson. They put all like the electronics package and built that into the Moto America Super Sport machine it was. So it was, and then we kicked off at the Daytona 200, and unfortunately, no. We come in after qualifying 1, or halfway through qualifying 1, and turned off the bike to change over the tyre, and then we started up again to go out, and then all of a sudden we hear this ticking noise, and we're like, what's that? So come to find out that a piece of metal found its way down into the third cylinder, and we end up having to resort to a stock motor for the Daytona 200, which it being 15, 20 horsepower down, it was extremely difficult, to try and go faster than what I did previously. But it was awesome. We ended up finishing, I think, 20th or 19th, so it was 1 or 2 positions above from what we did, the previous year. So it was a massive blessing. So.
Absolutely. And I actually got some video of this year at Daytona 200. It was my first time there, and I caught you as you come in for a tire swap. I was standing right there videoing the whole thing. It was it's always good. That's one of my favorite things to do when I'm at the track is watch my friends and their team on how they work, and like everything, just again, the puzzle pieces, they just Absolutely. It's seamless. Like your team, it was absolutely effortless. Yeah. They made it look so easy. No, you guys practice it, right? It's because you guys are so in tune with each other.
Exactly. And it's and that stems back to the endurance, with racing with Motor Drone Racing for the last 4 years beforehand. We know how to do tire stops, we know how to do fuel dumps and stuff. It's a process manufacturing plant. The bike comes in, everyone's got a role to play. And when you talk about that sort of like that family, like we've been together, we know how it runs. We might not be that hot pit stop fastest, but we know we're going to be consistent. We know we're going to get the bike in and out as quick as we can, because that's where it comes down to. If you're spending another 5, 10, 15 seconds in the pits, that's when, you're getting pushed down the order, and, it's hard to make up that, 1 second, 2 seconds a lap and stuff. But no, we're a well-oiled, machine and stuff. With when it comes to sort of like the endurance experience that we've had with, racing. Last year, we won 2 or 3 races, racing in the Weir Endurance Series and stuff like that. And it sort of like stemmed into the start of the Daytona 200 this year. So
I love it. It's when I step back and I watch it and just how everything just comes together. It's beautiful poetry in motion. Is exactly what it is.
absolutely.
Even if it's for that brief minute and a half, minute, whatever. Time slows down when I'm doing it, right? And then but then when I go back and watch it, it's just. It's such a beautiful thing to see because it was pop, 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 boom, go. Off you was gone. I was like, look at that. That was awesome to see.
Pretty good. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see how we would have fetched. Having my Daytona engine. Because I know I would have gone. I think I went about the same fastness. In terms of lap times on that stock motor. So with that better engine, I probably. Hopefully, might have knocked off at least a second or something per lap, but we'll never know. Maybe, Daytona 200 next year. So we'll see. So.
That's right. And, Shane, Daytona is such a unique track. So you can't use any data hardly or nothing at all pretty much for any other track you go to on Moto America.
Exactly.
So it's that. And, being on the baking high speed, it's America's most famous track, the Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
200,
Yeah,
right?
no, I learned the banking quite well this year. I hit the banking about 3 or 4 times, like you just lose sight, especially as the race is going on and shadows change in the, from the wall, and you're like, okay, I'm getting a little bit close. Oh, bang, I've hit the, I've hit the wall. But so it happens. But the way that, that's my most, probably fun, racetrack to be at. It's just goes back to the days of Thunder and watching trickle race around.
That's right.
I watched that when I was growing up and stuff, and it was just like, wow, to be on the high banks of Daytona. It was with the team that I have around me, and extremely blessed. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think Daytona, I finally got to meet your 2 sisters.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was an honor to meet them.
Unfortunately, my baby sister Holly, she had to stay back home because she had he was less than a year old at that stage. So I surprised my mum initially. She was going to come over for the Daytona 200, and then it was coming up to my sister Lauren's 40th birthday, and I was like, you know what, let's surprise them. Let's try, and I try to work it out so that I can fly all my 3 sisters and my mama out to watch the race, and they did, and it was awesome for them to be on the grid. My mum was my umbrella girl. My sisters, like they had to put up with me driving down. Like I'm a pretty erratic driver and stuff. But in for them on the other side of the car, on the other side of the road, and it's just like freaking them out. But plus the way that I drive, it was, I felt for them. But for them to be down at the racetrack and watching me race and just, they're my rocks. They're my, I've got 4 beautiful women in my life, that have been around me since I've been born, and it's just, yes, I'm the eldest, I'm the protective older brother, but my sister Lauren, Jessica, the motivation, the encouragement they got. I crashed in, I think, in qualifying 2 and stuff, and they went and found this sticker, "Crashing sucks," and they whacked it onto the bike and stuff. So, but just just grounding me a little bit, and just like, hey, Shane, you're out here, you're doing it, you can only try your best and stuff. And that was, I'm very A-type personality. I'm, so self-critical. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I did that in my cricket days, and I do it with my motorcycle days. But sometimes you just got to be grounded by the foundation, the people that you grew up with, and it was a blessing to have them there. And I surprised them the next day. We've been down in Florida. I took them all to Disney World. We went to the Magic Kingdom, and to see it was pretty emotional. Like just because my mum, she had to raise 4 kids, with without any support from my father and stuff. She had to keep a roof over her head, clothes on our back, food in our belly. She had to work full time, and she had no money, and just to cycle down 30, 35 years, down the track, and we're sitting in the front of the Magic Kingdom, castle, and the fireworks are going. It was just like it was pretty emotional. My sister's on both of my arms. My mom. It was just like yeah, couldn't ask for a better weekend. So
I love it, man. I love it. It's everybody knows family first and foremost, 110%, and without the strong rock that I have with my wife and obviously my son, I wouldn't be able to do this as much as I do anyway. Right. So yeah, there's always those moments like when my wife went with me to VIR, she's been to a bunch of races with me, but since I've been podcasting, it's a little different now. And it was awesome to have her there and get her introduce her to everybody, and it was it's a full circle journey, right? So
that's what like you look at it, it's just we're all family, no matter even if we're blood related, not blood related and stuff. It's funny because I see Weira, and it's sort of like a family community and stuff, and you do see that in the elements of Moto America as well. Okay, the big teams, up the front, PJ and Skulls, they're not going to be sharing or helping each other out or giving out, parts or. But you see it, like you see it from the grassroots people that are coming in, the privateers and stuff. Everyone's out there to help each other, and if there's been times that I've actually gone into, had Dave Anthony, who, is my competitor and stuff, but I bought his bike and stuff at a couple of months ago and needed a fuel pump. He went into the M4, Team Hammer and said, hey, can we get a fuel pump off, and yeah, okay, I'm not going to compete against, the Tyler Scotts and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it becomes like that family community, no matter what, everyone's trying to be better, and they will help out when they can, and they help each other out. So it's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing. And in our sport, and I say it all the time, it's such a unique sport in that aspect too as well, right? People just want to help each other out. I'd rather me beat you on the track straight up, or you beat me straight up, than you have a mechanical or a part that you're looking for that I have that I'm not even using. I'd be like, yeah, sure, here you go. Let's go out there and have fun, and afterwards we'll cook up some shrimp. Was you guys fed me some shrimp and some rice or whatever it is, right? It's you don't see that in any other sport, at least none that I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I love it.
Beautiful thing, 110%. It's all that journey and everybody you meet along the way and the friendship, and you see each other. It's just nothing but hugs, and everybody just picks up like we've been friends for 100 years. And
exactly. And when I even cycle back, like when I was talking about, with my team at the the end of last year, and ripping the bike apart, like I was up in Ohio a couple of times up towards Lake Erie and stuff, where Ryan, my crew chief and stuff, what lives, and that's where the bike was getting formed and put together, and parts pulled out and cleaned, and just parts replaced, and just they are my family. Like my family's on the other side of the world, but I love and I miss them and stuff. But I become sort of like grounded when I'm around my Ryan and Kyle and Roger, the people that are actually helping me at the track, because these guys, they ain't getting paid, like they are. I'm so lucky that they volunteer their time, and follow me around the racetracks and stuff, from going to the Ridge to Laguna Seca. We're going to Coda in a couple of weeks' time, out to Virginia, down to Daytona. These guys sacrifice their PTO, their livelihoods and stuff, their families and stuff, for, my benefit. And that's just like, I'm couldn't be more blessed, the way that these guys have, I've stuck with them with the endurance team and stuff over the last 4 years, but the way that they've been able to commit to me for this season, and Ryan working to all hours, for many days to put the bike together. He called me up. He's stressing out. He's going, but at the end of the day, it's just like they volunteer their time for me and my benefit and my race program and stuff. And it's just like, wow, these these people are my family. So when I get to the racetrack and I haven't seen them for a couple of months, we're hugging. It's just no matter, we might not have been raised together, but we are family. And that's the biggest blessing. I love it.
Dude, 100%. And you know me, I'm not a big handshake. I'd rather give the hug.
Yeah,
It's way more
exactly.
personal than a handshake, right? So yeah, dude, I'm listen, 110%. We got a couple comments I want to get to real quick. We got Racership. What is going on? Welcome to the show. Shane rocks. Absolutely right, my friend. He does. Um, and then we got Andrew Davis. What's going on, bud? Congratulations on your win, too, by the way. He says down 20 HP is huge at Daytona. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
I felt it.
That's a game changer at Daytona for sure, right? We got Roger. He says, "Oh, you're getting a bill at the end of the season. Bet you didn't know that, did you, Shane?"
Well, then I should have, zipped my mouth shut, because he's Rogers. They've been having to fly Shane Mag's Airways, across the country, and sometimes, the airlines that I selected. I don't really want to mention them, but they're actually close to me because I use them all the time, Southwest, and I booked them all on Southwest flights and stuff, and they've gone out to Seattle, Laguna, and every time that they've flown Shane Mag's Airways, there's been a problem. When they got to Laguna, they had to fly up to I can't remember exactly what airport, but it was like 2.5 hours away, and then they had to get a rental car, and it was just the delays. It went from an 8 to 10 hour flight to 15, 18 hours. And, these are the commitment that these guys were doing. Like they were working the day before, getting on a plane to fly out to, west to come out and support my program. It's just like, wow, these guys are putting the hours, the effort, and the sacrifices they make for us, or for me. It's, I love them. So,
yeah, dude, I love you guys too, 110%. Again, it's the team, and it's very unique what you gentlemen have together. It's absolutely, if anybody's ever at Moto America, just stop by and watch. It's truly amazing to see you guys come together. And you're right, people don't realize the sacrifices that team members make, and they do it because they're so in love with the sport and they fully believe in you and support you 100%. That's why they're all in. And it's a beautiful thing to say. And of course, we got the legend herself in the house, Lucy. Hey, bitches!
all the way from Ireland.
Right, all the way from Ireland. Let's go. I love it.
She's gonna stab me for that, but she's
she's
not on, so she doesn't have a backing now, because I've got the platform. So when she gets on when she does her next podcast and stuff, I'm sure she'll give it back to me. But hey, Lucy.
Oh, it's coming up very soon, so just prepare yourself, Shane.
I need to watch my mouth. So.
Yeah, it's happening very, very soon. She says, yo, being a privateer is so difficult with many challenges, especially financially. So keep on rocking. You're doing great. It is, that's something that a big misconception I see in our sport. All the fans show up and they see Shane and even Lucy at BTR, and everybody just walking around full gear with all these patches, and they're like, man, I wonder how much they get paid. It's like, nah, it's not it at all. It's how much are they paying just to be there.
Exactly. I was thinking about that just before the podcast and stuff. I think you're looking at the economic where the actual Moto America is at and stuff, and sort of like the racing series is around the US, and none of us are getting paid. If you win a Moto America Supersport race, I think you get $1,250 or something, and then
that don't even cover the tire bill.
And then if you get from 4th to top 20, you get 500, and that doesn't even cover the cost of the tires. So yeah, there are some contingencies, but you see the dynamic of where the different classes, I wouldn't say cheaper classes. They are ultimately cheaper to run. The bikes, the super sport, the hooligans. You see, there's 40, 50 bikes on the grid and stuff. You see the twins, and it's just the dynamic of where the economic balance of the racing is across America, because there's not a lot of money into, a lot of the teams are funding it out of their own pocket and stuff, or privateers paying into big programs and stuff, and it's just that's why I think we're seeing a bit of a change with these hooligans, where they got 40 or 50 people on the grid, the twins, and the and you see the superbike, you got machines that are worth $250,000 to $500,000 and stuff. It's like who can afford that? And that's why I think there's a bit of a dynamic of of a change, and that's why you're seeing people can't afford to spend X Y Z on these big racing programs and stuff. Hence why they're opting for the categories, and you see it blown in the participation with the numbers that are actually on the grid. So it's pretty amazing.
No, 110%. I think I've quite said this often is I think the future of our sport's going to be 600 class. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
our major class. Like you said, yeah, you might be able to afford. Me and Shay might be able to afford the $250,000 R1, but what we can't afford is the engineer that we got to pay $100,000 just to work the damn thing, just to start it. Right? It's like, yeah, it's you're right. Now I just see that the way cost is going, man, and you said it, dude. The super sport class is stacked.
Oh yeah. And my aim every time is just to try and get a top 20, and it's just to get that is sort of like a bonus win for me. Not just sort of the monetary, but the in terms of looking at the accolade. Okay, you got top 20 in Moto America Super Sport. It's like, well, you're towards the back of the grid, and not really. I'm still competing against 30 to 40 people on the grid and stuff, but the level of the quality and those riders from Scholz to Blake Davis to Tyler Scott to Kayla to Max Van, like it's to get into the top 10, and Josh Hayes, who's got 90 odd wins and stuff under his belt for AMA. It's just like, wow, to get into the top 10, it's a tough beat to ask, but even into the top 20, I'm like, wow, I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
You're a legend, my friend. 110%. You should be proud of yourself, and I know you are. But give yourself some more credit, my friend.
That's it. I'm always going to be hard on myself. The goal at the beginning of the year was to get a championship point. I was that close last year at Mid-Ohio. I got up to 10th position on the last lap, and I crashed out. And that would have been my first championship point. And championship points, that for people that don't know, it's like top 15. 15th gets one championship point, and it builds its way up to 25 points for first. But I missed out on that. So the aim this year was to get a championship point, and I managed to do it at a track I'd never been to. I went to Laguna Seca, which that was just like, I saw that race, the MotoGPs racing there years and years and years ago, and seeing the corkscrew and walking the track. It was just like fascinating. And then just to race it, and I'm like, wow, I'm here. And I got a championship point on a bike that that was the weekend that I bought Dave Anthony's bike, and it was just like, it was massive. It was such a positive, awesome weekend. So
it was proper mega, as I always say. 110%, my friend. Yeah, it's everybody has a certain vision when they go to a club race weekend or a Moto America weekend event, right? And it don't always go your way, but at the end of the day, at the end of the weekend, as long as you come home safe and you had fun and you did 100% best, that's all you can really ask for at the end of the day,
No, that's it. I generally have to pack up as quick as I can and either get on a flight or drive back to, on a Sunday night, so I can get into the office at 7:00 in the morning, to pay for the race weekend that I had. So it's it takes but then again, it takes a community, it takes a family to be able to actually do it, and it's just it's awesome.
But what you said is another side of it that people don't understand, especially the privateers, right? Such as yourself. Yeah, you pack up, and I've seen it many times. I mean, literally, Shane's gone 1 minute, right? He's out, but you leave the track 5. Hopefully earlier, 5 o'clock. You might have a 12, 14, 24-hour drive. You got to be at work the next day.
Yeah.
So there's no sleep. I get up, I drink coffee, do some push-ups, a cold shower, and I'm back at it, right? Yeah, and then, it's a race. A racer doing a season is no sleep. You don't get a lot of sleep. You get it when you can.
You can, but again, as a privateer, this is what you got to do. Like you're sleeping in the car. You're doing those long hauls. Whether it's like I was at Mid-Ohio, I drove 7.5 hours back home. Got home around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and had to wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock to get into the office at 7 o'clock. It's part of it, But this is why I do it. I work to live, not the other way around. And I'm very blessed, with the job that I do have, that I have the flexibility. I've got a boss who's amazing, like the best boss I've ever had. Company that I'm with is just the flexibility that I'm able to actually be a professional racer. I say that in quotes because I am racing professionally, but I I try to, yeah, again, hard on myself. But at the end of the day, it's just like to be able to do it, but still have to get it, wake up, go to work to earn the money to be able to actually pay for the thing that I do and love the most. It's pretty surreal. So
it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Again, about that journey, right? It's we got Jamie. Thank you so much, Jamie, for tuning in. I love magazines. You won't find a finer soul in the paddock. I prayed with Shane before one of our races, and I don't even believe in God. Shane has that kind of effect on people. Love you, brother.
Love you too, Jamie. It's
awesome.
I miss him. I haven't been able to spend as much time at the track as what we do. We have for the last few years, especially this year. I haven't really raced any WERA. I went down to Atlanta a few months ago to help out a team do an endurance race, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to commit to any sort of WERA or events this year and stuff. But those are the people that I miss. Because again, they're my family. Whether it's Jamie or Matt Patakar or all those guys, Joe Fisher and Debbie Fisher and stuff. They're all part of my family. So it's the extended family.
It's all beautiful people.
Yeah,
100%. I agree. My family too. I love every single one of them. I say it all the time, and I mean it. And then Lucy says, "Absolutely, will murder this guy." Absolutely, dude. Shane, you just done for, I guess. Yeah, it's
that's it. I won't say anything more, Lucy. So.
Bullshit. We're getting ready to light Lucy up now.
To be sure, all the Irish seconds.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. We got another one. We got Iva says, "Keep up the good work, buddy. You got this."
There you go. Ryan's better half. Ryan, my chief mechanic. That's Iva. She's actually just got into doing a couple of track days. I see her racing in the near future. She's just she's bought I think it's a little Yamaha and stuff that she's doing a couple of track days, but she's at the race meets as well, and always helping, always making sure I'm fed, and just again, quality people that I've got around. That it's part of my family. So
she needs to apply for BTR. It sounds like.
She just actually up at Mid Ohio, and she jumped on the back of Chris Ulrich's bike when he did the 2-up, and I think she wanted to ride Chris around the track and Chris on the back of it. But she's going to race well. I can. She's just got that that mentality and stuff that she's just like she wants to go out and give it a go. So
I love it. So, we're in 2025, man. It's almost over with. God, it's went by so quick. But yeah, we are 2 race weekends. We got Texas and Jersey.
Yeah.
You'll be doing both. In your words, sum up your 2025 season so far.
Up and down. It's been amazing to be able to just race in the Moto America series. But we've had our, ups and downs. We went to the R6 platform and we couldn't just get that right. We end up having we were going through a couple of engines and that was just due to the electronics package that we had to install and stuff because the bike ran without a beat or, missing last year and stuff. And then I had to upgrade it to this Medtronic system and all that sort of stuff. And we just couldn't get it right. We end up going through a couple of engines and that I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't having fun. Like I was going out to the ridge and I was going out west and I was like, what do I do? So, and I was like, you know what? I've got to have fun again. Let's just buy Dave Anthony's bike. I'd been on Gixxers before. I'm quite familiar with that platform, racing in the endurance team and stuff. We were on Gixxer 600s. And so, and it just seemed like a no-brainer in a way that R6, it was a beautiful, machine. It was a rocket machine and stuff. But the way to be able to actually try to keep that up, especially when you're competing against R9s and the Ducatis and stuff like that. It was had to be, like the head that I had to run, like it was that GYTR head that was the homologated head that I legally had to run. And so it was testing, like it was one thing, we'd have a good weekend and we'd have a bad weekend, good weekend, bad, bad, bad. So, and it was just, I think a lot of it, because there was only like 3 tracks that I've actually been to in the Moto America series. All the rest of the tracks I'm getting used to. Like I've never raced there. VIR hadn't never raced. Where else? The Ridge, Coda, up at Road America, and then I'm going out to Coda next weekend and then New Jersey following. So there's 6, 7 tracks that I've never been to. So getting there and chucking on brand new tires for practice 1 and just staying out there as long as I can just to learn the track, which way it goes, and then having to figure out gearing. And, so it's just, it's, to answer your question, like it's been a up and down season, but I have to look back. It's just like, well, as a privateer, I've got to look at all those little wins and stuff, even though that I might not be the fastest out there, like I'm making progress and steps. It's a massive learning curve, especially, in the Moto America field with Super Sport Championship. It's just, it's mega. Like it takes a lot. It takes, the family, the commitment that I've got around me. I just have to, sometimes just reflect and just go, wow, look what we've done. Look what we've achieved for what we've done. Like the program that I can try to do, maybe out of my own pocket, I can do it $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. But I'm racing. The next level is you're paying $200,000, $250,000 into, race teams and stuff. And to be able to get to that level, it's not even just buying yourself into the race team. It's having the accessibility, the resources, the engineers, the data people and stuff around you, being on the bike every single, weekend. Like me, I can't afford to do that. Like I'm only racing the Moto America, which is every 3 to 4 weeks. And I think this year is not doing the endurance racing. I think that has been a bit of effect on, our results as well, because I haven't had as much seat time as what I was getting with the racing Wira, racing the endurance and racing, the Moto America. It's just, I went up to Bowling Green at NCM for 3 days, precision track days. They did a 3-day weekend, and I was like, oh, beautiful. Let's go and get some seat time. It's only an hour up the road. Went up there after Friday, my body was wrecked, and I worked out. There was 8 sessions, 15-minute sessions, and that's about as much time that we get for a full race weekend. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. At a Moto America, that's about an hour and a half to 2 hours of full racing weekend, and I'd blown myself to pieces after Friday, and then I'd still had 2 days to ride on Saturday and ride on Sunday. So I was just like, I think that's what I've lacked this year, is sort of like just having that additional seat time. But you got to do what you can with the tools that you have at hand, the monetary things that you have on hand. It's just gets difficult, but I try my best. That's all I can do.
Dude, you're absolutely killing it, my friend. And on top of that, again, I say it's about the journey, bro. And listen to the journey you just told me, man. What a beautiful thing, right? Life has trials and tribulations. It's just something that we're faced with, we're dealt with. It's how we deal with those and how we overcome those is what makes us unique in our own way. I'll say that part of it anyway, right? So, yeah. So let me ask you this. You're right. You've been to a lot of tracks you haven't been to. What's your favorite track you've been to so far this year that you haven't been to? Hopefully it's VIR. If not, I'm going to end the podcast right now.
VIR is up there. VIR is very taxing on the body.
It is.
Especially once you get around sort of like the back section with the S's and stuff.
Yep.
I love Laguna, especially being only like a bit of a smaller track, but the history. I don't really want to speak, but the Ridge, that was probably the hardest and the worst track I've been, like in terms of me, out of all the tracks I've been to, I didn't like the Ridge. And plus we had an engine go, so it was just like losing time on the track. You need laps around the Ridge. It's one of those tracks where you just need to have seat time. You need to be doing track day after track day after track day to actually find time, especially with those, those couple of tight turns and stuff like that. I'm no really good at tight corners and stuff. I love the fast flowing, and probably hence why I like the, Laguna, and I did like VIR, because there were a lot of fast flowing, corners, sort of similar to like Pittsburgh and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right? Yeah, VR obviously is my home track, so it's one of my favorite tracks. I've had the most seat time at VR. Turn one to me is always the most tricky because it's like a double apex, but it's not a double apex. There's so many lines you could take through there to make it's just insane. But it's a great track. It's one of those tracks where you think you might have a little rest and breathing on, but you really can't, because you're always hustling and muscling and around, and
Absolutely.
the undulations and the
Yeah,
campers.
yeah.
Plus, it's a beautiful facility.
Oh, absolutely. Probably one of the best facilities and stuff with the amenities and everything. It's just and even the grounds and stuff, absolutely beautiful. The greenery and stuff, Virginia. It's I'm actually really excited though for Coda. Like I know I'm gonna. I pray that I'm going to do well at Coda, but I'm looking at that as one of those tracks that I've been excited for, because it's that fast flowing. There are a couple of tight turns and stuff, but I think I'm going to gel well with Coda. So,
I think you will. I've been to Coda for the past 7 years. I didn't go this year because I had my wrist surgery, so I couldn't fly.
Yeah,
but Coda's one of those tracks. It's just, and I've been to Laguna Seca, but only been once. So in 05 when MotoGP first come back.
Okay.
And that's when I first met Rossi. Got my first Rossi helmet signed. Matter of fact, I have a corkscrew viewing sign. So back then they used to put corkscrew viewing signs up on the trees. Of course, I took one home with me, right? So I took it off the tree and took it out. It's in my garage. But again, every track has its own uniqueness. What I'm getting at is, watching it on TV does it no justice at all. Dude, turn one, you're going to look up at it and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's super steep. And when it gets to the top, it actually narrows down a little bit and it goes hard left. And as you come back down to the right, it actually widens up. Dude, it's so beautiful, man. And that whole flowing section. And then you get in the back when you go over the hill. It's a hard going into 11. And then you got that front straightaway, which is 12. And then that's, to me, probably the hardest break-in besides the last corner.
Yep.
Is there, and you
are
going to love it, especially if you like a flowing track. You're going to love it.
Definitely have to do the track walk on Thursday afternoon there. I'll be watching a lot of the MotoGP races. I'll watch a lot of the Super Sport races from there last year, just to sort of like pick lines, look at it, the apexes and how the riders are racing around it and stuff. But that was sort of similar to like Laguna, the way that, when I watched Laguna, it's like, okay, it looks flat here, looks flat there, but you get out there and you're climbing up hills that are like 75-degree steep. And I'm like, where's this come from? Like, you just don't, unless you're actually on the track and you start seeing it for yourself, you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then your corkscrew drops down. Oh, anyway.
It's beautiful. It is. I remember walking up it like my fourth time. I said, dude, I'm not walking up here no more, because it's literally like it's right. But looking at it again on TV, it doesn't no justice at all. But seeing it in real life and being in that atmosphere, every racetrack, wherever you're at in the world, has its own unique energy about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially the historic, if it's got a lot of history behind it, right? So
absolutely. Along with the fans as well, like
the fans,
one of my favorite things is the fan walk and stuff, where you set up on hot pit and stuff, and the fans are coming past there, getting signatures and taking photos with them. It's just seeing the dynamic, whether it's from the West Coast to VIR down to Daytona and stuff. That's one of my favorite things and stuff. Just seeing. At the Ridge, I gave a pair of my old boots. They had holes in them and stuff that had worn through from the foot pegs, and I signed them for a couple of kids that are only 7 or 8 years old, and it's just like I'm not at the top of the on the podiums and stuff. I'm not even top 10, but just to see those the kids' faces, creating those core memories on it's just like that is a huge blessing to be able, because I was that one person looking up to my football heroes and cricket heroes, and I'd be like, oh, can I get your signature and stuff? And we've got like little autograph cards that I sign up, and we have stickers that a young kid. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
I can.
it's a little bit
Love
big.
it. Yep.
Liam, he was a 10-year-old who designed that logo. Um, we created them into stickers, and it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the koala bear, it's got the
Yep.
Australian flag, and the
I love
cookie,
it.
because I'm a cookie monster. I love cookies. I'm a big sweet tooth, and thanks, Mum, for giving me a sweet tooth. But it makes me having to work harder in the gym and stuff. But it's just yeah, Liam, a 10-year-old, he created a sticker that that's just getting distributed around, that I hand out to all the fans out there. It's special.
I love it, man. Yeah, you're right. You need you a koala bear, like a stuffed koala bear you can take and set up on the track so when people come by, they can hold it and take a picture with you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah, with the cookie and the.
Yeah, man, for sure. We do. Hey, we'll go to Build a Bear. We're gonna make you one, Shane. We'll bring it to the track. Yeah, straight up. An Australian bear with a cookie. Yes, yes. Say Magsy on the back of it. Yeah, great idea. Well, that way you can set up on your table when kids come by. They can take a picture with the koala bear and you. And
there you go.
Yeah, good idea. But what you're doing for the youth of our sport by doing that, you're creating memories, and they will never forget that. And they look up to you, and they want to be just like you, and they want to race, and they want to do that, right? Yeah, man, it's beautiful. We got Leslie. What is up? Thank you so much for tuning in. She says, Mags to the podium now. You are absolutely right.
We're gonna try.
You will. Absolutely. Tyler Duff says Magsy's the fucking man. Doing endurance with him at RA a few months back was amazing. He sounds funny, but man, he can ride a motorbike.
Thanks, Tyler. I love it. Appreciate your support, brother.
So I was there at Cycle Jam at Road Atlanta when you was actually there, because we see Sonia Lloyd was there, right? The legend Sonia Lloyd was there, and we didn't get a whole chance to spend a whole lot of time together. It was that brief hug and hey, how you doing? Let's catch up. And again, it's like when you go to a race weekend, you have all these visions of what you want to do. Same thing with me when I approached the race weekend at Moto America Club races. I'm like, okay, I at least want to spend 30 minutes with him this weekend, because we're at a club week. It don't ever work out the way you want it to work out, right? But so I get it 100%. Leslie says, yes, you're awesome, Leslie. I like you. Ryland Underwood says, my dude.
He's a legend. Ryland got to sing the national anthem at Atlanta for Moto America. He'd done a couple of Weira rounds and stuff like that, and he reached out to, I think he had Mark Miracle. He had him give him a bit of support to be able to actually try to sing at the national anthem at Road Atlanta, and he did. And he helped me out as well. He was running tools, running stands out onto the grid and stuff. I'm blessed with some amazing people in my life. So
I love it. Ryland, you, my friend, is proper mega, as I always say. Yeah, absolutely. It's good, man. It's again, all the beautiful people you meet within, I call it our beautiful circus, is just it's so unique to anything I've ever been a part of, right? It's in and this is the best way I can explain it to people. There's motorcycles choose certain people in life. And what I mean by that, we're so deeply in love with this sport. That's all we think about. That's all we talk about. That's all we watch on TV. I don't watch any other sports but soccer, which is the real football, right? I do watch that. But even then, that's like a couple games a year, maybe, right? Because it's just, to me, it's just two wheels. But when you fall in love with motorcycles at whatever age that they choose you, you don't realize how much it's going to change your life and the passion that you're going to have for it, and the beautiful people, family, and friends you're going to meet on this journey that you would have never met if that motorcycle wouldn't have picked you, right?
Exactly.
100%. It's just I can't say it enough how beautiful it is. Everybody there, it's just amazing. Leslie says his mom brought koalas to Barber and gave away.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Derek Johnson, what is going on, buddy? He says Shane Lloyd Maggs is the #1 fan favorite. Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'm one of his fans as well. I was up in Gatlinburg. Him and his wife and another couple, they invited me up a couple of weeks ago, just the week before my birthday, and said, come up and spend some time at Pigeon Forge. And yeah, we had some fun out there. It was good fun. Loved it.
I love it, man. I love it. Royce Davis, what is up, buddy? He says, what's up, guys? You, my friend, you. Leslie says, sorry for the caps with the laughing emoji. You're good. You are absolutely good. She also says, keep calm and stay sweaty, Mags.
Oh, yeah. Every time I got my shirt off, well, that's pretty much 99% of the time at the racetrack. It's like people will look at me like, oh, that can't be Shane. He's got his shirt on. But she's always prying around and stuff to like, oh, he's hot, he's sweaty. Let's get a photo. It's disgusting, but anyway, love you, Leslie.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it, dude. So listen, 2026, bro. We got 2 rounds left.
Yep.
What's your expectations going into Texas, and then what is your expectations going into Jersey? Or do you have any certain goals you want to meet or
it's
achieve?
Always top 20. Always top 20. Yeah, if I can press up to get into the that top 15. But I think it's just me sort of like just learning the tracks, and not putting too much pressure on myself. I always say this, it's easier said than done, especially the way that I've always put pressure on myself. I think I just got to go into it. There's no expectations. Look, I ain't going to win the championship. I ain't going to be top 5, top 10 and stuff, and I know people are saying, oh, not without that attitude, you won't, but it's just, at the end of the day, I'm realist, I'm realistic and stuff, like I was explaining to one of the guys that, at the NCM Bowling Green racetrack the other day, like I might not be the fastest, I know I'm not the fastest, but I don't have like, the big program, the big race program, but I know that, my determination, my commitment, it's been able to wake up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym. I've been working all day from home, and then, I went to the gym at 4:45 at F45 in Brentwood to get my 2 workouts in for the day. So, my, physical fitness, I know that I'm not the fastest, but I know that I'm definitely going to be probably the fittest, if not the fittest out there. And then obviously it just comes down to that mentality of, being mentally strong to be able to be that, committed and stuff to the dark days, the hot days, the days that you had trouble at work or it's just being able to get in there, throw around those weights and stuff, being, just making yourself that 1% better. That's what I'm about, and I might not be on the top podium. I might not be winning MotoGP championships and stuff, but all I can do is just be the best I can be, and if that's being in the gym to improve my, physical and mental health and stuff, hopefully that can just then reflect into, the way that I carry myself on the racetrack. So that's expectations. Yeah. Top 20, I'm hoping, but, at the end of the day, I think I just got to just sit back and enjoy the rest of the season. Never been to Dakota, never been to New Jersey and stuff, and then set ourselves up. Maybe get some more seat time in the off season on this new platform, and start to learn that a little bit more, so I can start utilizing data to help me go quicker, and be more comfortable on the bike.
Oh, 100%. You, my friend, is an absolute legend. I say it all the time. I will see you at Jersey, and I cannot wait. Freaking Lucy Blondell got me first. Derek says, Paddock family is amazing. Yes, it is. 110%. Lucy says, no one recognizes him with his shirt on. Typical New Zealanders.
She got me back.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Back with the Kiwi comment. So.
Rollins says, need to get you points. Don't make me come out and throw sticks at the competition's wheels. That's hilarious. Jamie says, Audrey and Nathan say hi to Shane and thanks, Chris, for all you're doing for the community. Great interview. Jamie, listen, I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it right now as I'm going to at the end of this. I love each and every single one of you. I love all the love and support, because it wasn't for Shane and all my friends, and especially all you guys and girls that listen to the podcast, that like and subscribe and send me personal messages all day. Just listen, it's the greatest honor ever.
Absolutely.
And I love it. and I love you guys for it for
I
sure.
love Audrey, love Nathan. Nathan is a ripper dancer, and I love every time he's at the track. He's making people smile. You know, he's a good kid. He's a good boy, and I miss him. So, g'day, Nathan.
Yeah, for sure. Nathan and Audrey, thank you so much for real. Jamie, it's that comment. Truly, I love you 100%. And I mean it. Charlie, my man, what is up? He says, keep it up, Chris. Love what you do, man. Thank you, Charlie. You, my friend, is absolutely proper mega. And I love you too, Charlie, for sure. Charlie, he races out there. Excuse me. And lives in Arizona. Just went on this massive 10,000 mile adventure ride. It was yeah, absolutely amazing. So he's a
Oh,
super
brilliant.
guy
That's
too. Yeah.
awesome.
The journey. The first thing I said, dude, how was the journey? He said, man, I come home. I ain't even looked at my bike. I ain't even washed it or changed the oil or nothing. I was like, I
Oh,
bet
wow.
not. After 10,000 miles on that bad boy, I'd be
I need
done
a
with
couple.
it for a
Yeah.
while. Right. I need at least one beer right after that for sure. Leslie says, love you, Chris. I love you. Absolutely. Those are just for you, 100%. So, yeah. So, listen, Shane, these next two rounds, bro, you absolutely got this. I've told you this the first podcast we did together. Man, whatever level of success you have in your mind, bro, you're going to achieve that 10 times over. I'm a fan supporter along the way, and you got many people behind you that love and support you along the way. And you have this. So, Dakota, you're going to do absolutely proper mega at Jersey. You're absolutely going to murder it, and I can't wait to see it and get that hug again.
Awesome.
Hopefully, I might have a koala bear. So we need to do that, people. We need to get Shane a koala bear, and yeah, so we can take it out, carry it around with him at the track,
Exactly.
which is awesome. Uh, Mandy says, so much love from your fave, Shane Lloyd Maggs,
Tic
TikTok.
tac toe. Yeah, I love you, Mandy. And so Airy, her daughter, is my number one fan. I think you might have seen her at some of the racetracks, Chris, before.
Yes, yes.
She's my little rock star. You know, I met them at Atlanta last year, and you know she came up with two roses. And she goes, "You might not have won the race, but you won my heart and stuff." And since then, they're good family. Ryland's the dad, and you know Mandy's the mama, and Airy, she's my number one fan, and no one's taken it. No one's taken that spot. So just she's a gorgeous girl, gorgeous family, and I love them. So,
I love it, man. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to Shane's journey, 24 and 25. So let me ask you this, Shane, 2026, bro. What's the deal? What's going on? Any same program?
yeah, I'm gonna try. You know, I'm gonna try to put together like some sort of develop some sort of plan and stuff. I want to do Moto America again, but it's just again it comes down to the finances and the availability of that. It would be nice to pick up a couple of monetary sponsors and stuff to be able to actually support the program because majority of the sponsors that I have are product support and stuff, and I'm so blessed to have that. But it's just to be able to take it to that next level, you do need to spend more time on the track, seat time and stuff. And the aim is to kick it off with the Daytona 200, most likely on this Jigsaw 750 platform, and then and go for it, and hopefully in the off season I can again get a little bit more seat time and stuff, and just get more comfortable with that platform and the bike itself, so that and starting to utilize the computer and the data and stuff to make little changes, whether it's geometry or the ergonomics or the setup and stuff to help me become faster. I think if I can spend a bit more time on the track, that would help me to go faster ultimately. But yeah, that's a plan to try and do it. But me and the team have got to sit down, look at the end of the year, and then maybe potentially approach a couple of and reach out to a couple of teams or something, and just seeing how I can go about it, and potentially get a little bit more support for to do it. So
I love it. A sponsorship. I prefer the word friendship, right? Because that's what it is. It's a friendship. You're building this friendship,
yeah,
and they help fund you in order for you do the whole uh social media side and the presence in the paddock and all that good stuff, right? And I know that Roger, he introduced me to a guy from Wiseco at Mid
Yep.
Ohio. I
Okay.
cannot
Yeah,
remember his
Chris.
name.
Chris. Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yes. I had a nice chat with him and Wiseco, of course. You guys
There
can
we
see
go.
this right
Yeah.
here, right? So, talk to me. How did this whole thing with Wiseco come together with you?
So Roger works for Wiseco, and I think he's been there for 15, 20 years and stuff, and he's been part of the motor drone, racing platform and we had a Wiseco built engine for that endurance racing and stuff. We were allowed, and yeah, it's just I think with Roger's connections and the way that Wiseco Performance Products is sort of like we approached them and said, hey, look, because Wiseco used to sponsor, I think it was the AMA Supersport back at Mid Ohio back in the early 2000s and stuff, and because one of the I think one of the sons used to race it, and so once that kind of finished off, Wiseco sort of like pulled out, and they're obviously more into sort of like your dirt bikes and off road, other vehicles. But we approached them to say, hey, look, let's get the brand out there. Yes, I don't have any sort of like Wiseco parts in the engine because technically I'm not allowed to because of the I can't run pistons and stuff like that. I've got to run whatever Moto America spec is, but there are Wiseco fall under the race winning brands banner, and and I use Pro X chains, the different bearings, Recluse, they do all my clutches, and Andrew, at Recluse, he created an R6 clutch that I was running for the last couple of years and stuff, and so the way that we've been able to sort of develop and work closely and just more brand exposure, people know the brand Wiseco, but trying to get it into the Moto America paddock has been pretty cool, and now hopefully we can go to the next level and approach teams like even in the baggers, because the baggers, they can do all different types of things to the engine. So if we can try to get Wiseco parts into those into the bikes that are capable, that's a plan. I think we lost him. Did we lose you, Chris? All right, I'm sitting here by myself. Hi guys. Don't know how you have been added to the stream.
All right, there we go. Yeah,
I was worried. What have I done? It's just
everything went blank. I was like, but I was still talking. I just told everybody, hang on, we just had a technical difficulty. I will edit this out.
yeah.
Back together. So
no, it's been it's like you said, it's a partnership, it's a friendship and stuff. It's be able to be out in the paddock and have Wiseco branded, like just on our pits, on my our team jerseys, our team hoodies, my suit, my race suit, the canopies and stuff. We've been able to bring attention to within the Moto America paddock, but then it goes to all my other sponsors and stuff. NPS Racing Engines. They've been building my engines and stuff. And he's been an absolutely big part of the the team and the racing development of not only the endurance team but my racing program. I had Newmeyer Environmental Services, he helped, support my race program this year. Comedic, Recluse, Epic Superbike Designs with Justin. He's an absolute genius the way that he designs bikes. Dunlop 64 Degree Racing. These are their hoodies and stuff. They done a fantastic. There we go. Hey,
this is my custom 64 Degree Racing.
There we go. Tate does a fantastic job. He's designing some of the hats and stuff that we're going to get out there shortly. But 1X is my race suit. Arai, Spiegler, F45, Vortex, anti-gravity, and batteries. There's Comedic, Gasket. There are so many teams that or people, manufacturers, and products that just help me to be able to actually do what I do. So I'm very, very thankful and very, very blessed to have them on my jerseys and brand them, to try and get them, because it takes me getting their name out there through social media posts and also, hopefully I'm a good ambassador for them as well. They see what I'm doing. I'm passionate, and I'm trying to get their name out with the resources and the to my best ability. So
Oh, 100%. So, with you saying all that, let me ask you this: for people that are listening that don't never had a friendship, aka sponsorship,
yeah.
what advice would you give to somebody looking to score their first friendship to help fund them too as well?
I think it just goes both ways. So you look, they if they're going to give you like a monetary or a product support, they've got to look at what is the return on investment for them. Like it's just I think it's being able to promote and support the people that support you through the avenues that we have, and technology is the big one for us. Back in 20, 25 years ago, we didn't have the social media front, with Facebook and Instagram and all that. So, but I think that's played part of it to be able to actually just, if someone's going to support you, you support them. You promote them. Whether it is just through a Instagram story or wearing their jerseys or wearing their shirts or their hats and stuff like that. Just being a good role model and ambassador for the companies that are actually supporting you. I think that goes a long way.
Oh, 110%, my friend. You said it. Back then, we didn't have iPhones and social media and Facebook or any of that, right? So now it's
Is your
very important
podcast
to
almost
do
done?
all that, right? With the yeah, you gonna say hi to Shane? Yeah,
Hey,
Bob, are
buddy.
you hungry?
Yeah.
Well, dude, there's pizza down the
Oh, you got pizza?
oven. Yeah, I stopped by New York Pizza. Yeah, I'm almost done, buddy. I'll come out there and heat it up for you. On the way home, picked up a pizza because, so I had a high school buddy of mine passed away the other day, so I went to his viewing today after work. Went straight there, and thank you, man. It's yeah, I've been dealing with it for past 4 days or whatever. So yeah, I needed this tonight more than ever, sitting down with you having this conversation to get my
I
mind away from
appreciate
that.
it.
I talk about the whole mental thing of life and all that. This is part of that game we play called life. It happens, right? So, and I talk about the journey all the time. It's just part of the journey we're all part of, right? So
Exactly.
when it
Yeah.
happens, yeah, it was been an absolute honor to be his friend for the past shit. I met him when I was 18 years old. Yeah, 47 now, so it's been a long ride together, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, uh it's been a fucking honor, dude. It really has. So anyway, I had to do with that, the whole emotions and the mental side of it, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna have a lot of time. I don't want to cook, so I'm just gonna grab
Yeah.
a pizza,
Yeah.
bring it home. I wolfed one piece down before I even sat down. My son was playing video games. I said, hey, I'm going to do this podcast. Pizza's on the oven. Okay, and of course, you guys just heard him. I'm hungry. It's in there on the oven, but
There you go.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's yeah, life. What a beautiful journey. We think that when we're my son's age, it's this big, and really it's only this long, right?
Exactly.
So within
Exactly.
saying that, again, it's an absolute honor, Shane, to be your friend in this lifetime. And everybody that's listening to be your friends, it's yeah, again, I can't say enough. I love each and every single one of you. It's absolutely amazing. And on that note, we got the legend himself, Tate from 64 Degree Racing up in the house. You just missed it, Tate. I just showed up. We were just talking about you. I was just showing off my new undersuit. We was talking about
If you need
sponsorships.
undersuits, if you need any, insurance or, palm
100%.
savers, hats, reach out to Tate. He's does a fantastic job, especially, these are my new team hoodies and stuff. I'll give them a bit of a rip.
Yep, show it off. Look at that, boy. I love it.
So he does a, these hoodies, especially, it's quite humid down here in Nashville, Tennessee, but yeah, had to sport it. He does a fantastic job. So thanks, Tate.
Yeah, I talk about Tate 64 Degree Racing all the freaking time. I might as well just get a tattoo as much as I talk about it and just go like this 64
There
right
you
here,
go.
right? But yeah, it's again, you there's friendships, aka sponsorships. I call them friendships. They're just
Yeah.
it's beautiful when when you meet somebody in this sport that has the same love, same passion, same goals as you do, just to help grow the sport, right? And with saying that, Derek has a good point. I haven't talked about this yet, so I'm just going to ask you. Super Sport may be bigger next year with the Super Stock 1000 being dissolved into the SBK Cup. What are your thoughts on that, Shane?
I actually saw it come up. I didn't read about it. I didn't open it up and stuff. I do need to read the link and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think with the dynamic of how much it is costing to ride and then sort of like there's not a lot of contingencies and stuff, like I know Honda and, there are, BMWs and stuff, they put out, a good contingencies and stuff, but I think with, to run a platform, even with those contingencies, you can't pay for itself. It's never going to pay for itself. It's my race program is never going to pay for itself. But I think I don't know. It's hard to find out. It's hard to see the direction what it's going. It would be nice, but at the end of the day, those friendships and like you talk about the sponsorships and stuff, they need to come back in a way to try to grow the sport and stuff. But at the end of the day, I think it's I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know. It just, but then again, like will certain categories fall away based on, the finance on how much it costs to run those programs. The superbike, you got 10, 15 riders on the superbike class and stuff, and you've got 30 to 40 riders in the super sport cup class. You got the hooligans. I think it just, the economic, balance of where the country is at, where the financial stability of people and stuff. This is our hobby, this is our sport, but it costs money to race, and it's hard. It's hard to go to manufacturers and say, hey, you need to offload and start spending money and giving contingencies, because they've got to look at it as like a return. What return of investment are they going to get by doing that? All those things. So,
100%. It's I got mixed feelings on it. I'm not too sure what to think about it. I quite often say we need to grow this sport, which in turns we need to find some way to make it cheaper across all platforms, not just one platform, right? And with saying that, it's like this is the best way I can describe it to people when I talk about it, because they look at me like, "What are you talking about?" If you walk through our grid, you take everybody that's 25 years old and older out of Moto America right now, who are we left with? That is the future of our sport. There's not a lot of them. So we need to grow it, right? Which means we need to find ways to lower costs. If that's combining two classes, that's fine. But if you do that, you need to lower the cost of it, right? Not open the doors so the stock 1000s can do more work to their bikes, which costs more money and blah, 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 right? It's the ball of shit starts uphill, just gets bigger and bigger as it comes down. Yeah. So, and with saying that, first and foremost, Moto America is a business. They're there to make money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they do a fantastic job,
Absolutely.
They are like my family as well, Kathy Price and, all the people, Jason Wade, all the people that put that whole program together. They're all on wages, but they do a fantastic job, because it's a show at the end of the day. Like they want to put on good entertainment. They want, you need to be showing that you're actually doing well, but also the sport. You're trying to lift up the sport that you want to be. And you see how much Moto America has grown just in their social media. Like it's 2 or 3 years ago, it was around 500,000 people that were following. Now there's 1.3, 1.4 million people that are following. And Moto America, I just saw an announcement. One of the guys from World Superbike is wanting to race in Moto America next year. That Max
Vandermark.
Yeah. So it's just the Moto America series. It's
booming.
It's a booming series, and it's got so much potential. It's overtaking when you look at digital impressions and the exposure that it's getting globally. It's pretty cool to be a part of. So
absolutely, it is, right. And then we got Joe Fisher in the house. What is up, Joe? He says you need to behave now. Mama showed up.
Oh dear, yeah. Joe is my Tennessee dad, and Debbie's my Tennessee mama. So I love you guys. I miss yous, and maybe we can catch up this weekend for lunch. They're only about 30 minutes east of here. So
I love it, man. I love it. Leslie said, heck, I'd be out there whipping Shane's hiney if I could still afford it. Then we got another legend, Anthony Taylor, bro. What
There we
is up,
go.
my man? Magsy, love you, bro. What about
Love
me?
you,
What am I,
Anthony.
chopped liver now?
I
It's hilarious.
love you,
Yeah,
Anthony. Good
yeah,
guy. Good,
he
amazing man.
is. He is, man. He's he's another mega superstar. All you guys that go out there and club race and Moto America race, again, people don't understand the love, the hours, the workouts, the everything that goes behind the scenes. People don't see, right? And honestly, if they probably did see it, they'd be like, "Yeah, I'd rather just show up and do it." Those guys are animals and legends that do that, right? That's what I mean by that. It's everything that goes into it. It's
We're
yeah,
extremely
it's
blessed.
absolutely proper mega for sure. So, listen, Shay, dude, we're an hour and 15 minutes into this podcast, bro. It only seemed like 10 minutes for real.
Yeah.
We're going to end this here in a few minutes. So I can go in here and feed my hungry little 12-year-old monster. But I'm going to let you in the podcast as I always do. When I end this, just stay on with me. So, we'll go ahead and schedule our next one.
Yep.
Excuse me. But before I let you give all your shout outs and all that, first thing I want to say, I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you guys and girls so much for the love and support. If it wasn't for Shane and everybody coming on here and everybody listening, hitting the bells and the whistles and all that, and if you have not yet, please go do that. Was it for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. So it's nothing but love for each and every single
We
one of
love it.
you. And I really, really mean that. Big shout out to Next Level Financial, Chef Eats, TST Industries, the Clothing Kings. Everybody asked me about my beanie hats and my soft shell jacket. You guys and girls can go to clothingkings.co.uk and order all your Pendergast merch. Big shout out to SFL Mini GP and NJM Mini GP up there in Jersey. RD Racing and my man Jake Marks, vet2track.org, Flying Eyes Optics, 64-degree racing. You guys heard us talk about Tate. Listen, when you come to the track, if you're a beginner, hell, even if you think you're a veteran, don't show up with one undersuit. Bring more undersuits than you do clothes because you can wear the undersuits home. Unless you're Shane, then you just wear shorts and flip flops and that's it, right? But not everybody is Shane. Let's be honest, right? So, with saying that, if anybody's out there in the market that needs an undersuit, I got two friends that make the most amazing undersuits ever. 64-degree racing and Mama Aliki at venomsport.com. You're not going to go wrong by ordering from any one of them. So, yeah, go do it and order them now. Big shout out to Road Racing World. What I need everybody to do is go to roadracingworld.com and donate to the air
Donate.
fence. It's
Absolutely.
imperative that we have the air fences because guess what? If we don't have the air fences and the corner marshals, we
Mhm.
are not showing up and we're not having fun. And on that point, big shout out to all the corner marshal workers, all the guys and girls that show up week in, week out, rain, shine, hot, cold, listen, wet, the whole nine. We love every single one of you guys and girls for doing
Couldn't
that.
do it without
You
him.
are absolutely the stars of the circus, 100%. Big shout out to BTR program. It's at the end. We won't get to see him race till next year, but what an amazing season all my girls had at BTR. I'm proud of each and every single one of you. I've said it before individually. I've said it in a group. I from where you girls started to where you girls ended up has been absolutely amazing to see
Fantastic.
the journey, the struggles, the pace getting faster, the way you deal with the pressure. It's been a beautiful thing to see you girls kind of open up like a rose because you're all beautiful, right? So that's what it is, growing and it's been very impressive. Big shout out to KYT Helmets, K-Tech Suspension, Ghetto Custom Bodywork, Drip and Wet Graphics, REB Graphics, GRG Designs, Woodcraft Motorsports, Mark 10 Racing, Free Hugs Racing, Nicole Polyich Photography, Pit Lane Moto, CW Moto, Truth Be Told Apparel, Remix Racing Project, Superbike Supply, hashtag do it for dad. That's for my boy. Listen, but before I hand the microphone over to Shane, one last thing I do want to say. If anybody out there is listening to this, okay, you want to buy parts for your bike, you want to buy gear, whatever it is, buy it within the industry. Don't order it from Walmart. Don't order it from Target. Don't order it from Teamy. Don't order it from none of those. Buy it within the industry. Trust me, it helps the industry out, and we love you for doing it, for supporting each and every single one of us. It really does mean a lot. And if you're interested in anything, just hit me up. I'll point you in the right direction. I know plenty of people, and I'll make all those parts happen for you. So anyway, Shane, hey, the honor is all mine, but the floor is all yours, my friend. Did you lose power?
I don't know. Like, am I there? Am I still there? It's just getting dark.
Yeah.
It's just like we're getting some clouds. I think we're getting a little bit of rain in the area and stuff like that.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just sat on the balcony and stuff. But no, I want to thank the team out at Wiseco Performance Products that jump on board for the last couple of seasons, the support, the sponsorship, the friendship that we've created within. It's pretty special, and we're only just getting started. We're only just ripping the band-aid off on the potential that we can do, especially with and having that presence in the Moto America paddock. NPS racing engines, Will, you do a fantastic job with all my engines and stuff. New Mayor Environmental Services, Cometic Gaskets, Epic Superbike Designs, 1X design amazing suits and stuff for me. 64 Degree Racing, like we mentioned, Recluse, Former Boots USA, Fox Feather Designs, Dunlop, Arai, Spiegler, Anti-Gravity Vortex. Did I mention Former Boots? Yeah, yep. But I'm so blessed to be able to actually be, an ambassador for you guys and represent such amazing products, amazing brands. But I want to have a special thanks going out to my team. That's Roger, Ryan, Kyle. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are my family, you are my brothers, and when we show up to Coda and New Jersey, we're gonna, we're gonna go fast. But I couldn't do this season, I couldn't do last season without you guys. So a massive special thank you to go out to my racing family, and that's you guys. So thank you very much for everything you do.
I love it. Yeah, you're right. On that note, I actually had the honor to sit down with the whole race team not too long. Well, it's been several months. You guys go back if you missed it. Go back and listen to it. It's absolutely amazing. This is the second time Shane been on here, so if you missed the first episode, go back and have a listen to it. You hear all about where his humble beginnings, how he came over here, how he's been kicking butt, and you guys just heard the latest update. So stay tuned. Part 3 will be coming up. And yeah, Roger says, love you, buddy. See you at Coda. I wish I was going to be able to make Coda, but I will see you gentlemen at Jersey for sure. So yeah, on that note, listen, I hope everybody's weekend is as proper mega as each and every single one of you. There's a MotoGP race this weekend. Big shout out to Gus Rodeo out there at BSB in a wild card race. Let's go, Gus, baby. You got this,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's dude, look, we got Blanco, sexy man. What is up, dude? He's so awesome.
Love you, brother.
Love it. Yeah, dude, he's absolutely amazing. But yeah, listen, I appreciate everybody tuning in. You guys stay tuned. Our next one will be coming up with Shane here. Well, in the next month or two for sure. So yeah, I appreciate it. You guys have a
It got so dark down here. I've got the
I see that. Look at that. Is it Halloween yet?
It literally got so dark, like within the space of 10 minutes. So I apologize to all the people who can't see me, but maybe I'm doing you a favor so you don't have to see this ugly mug. So.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's not true, Shane. That's not true at all. But anyway, listen, we are out of here. Shane, is there anything you want to say before I end this?
No, Chris, love your work. Thank you for all your support, for everything you do around the field, around the paddock, on your platform that you do this, for 3, 4, 5 people per week and stuff. It's fantastic what you're doing to promote us, promote the sport. Yeah, it's a racing community, it's a racing family, and I love you, brother. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Dude, listen, the honor's all mine. I love you, Shane. And listen, if you guys going to make it to Coda, please stop by, say hi, get that picture, get that autograph, get that koala bear sticker, show the love and support. Yep, there you go. It means so much. So, and on that note, we are out of here. We will see you soon, my friends.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let me end this. Just give me one.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.